Welcome dear students to my channel Biology with Dr. Ishrat. Today we are going to discuss movement in plants. All living organisms are capable of moving and reacting to change in their internal and external environment. Plants do not have any type of nervous system, but they respond to various stimuli like light, temperature, touch, water. So as a result of any internal or external stimuli, plant show different type of movements, and this type of stimuli can be the gravity, can be the heat, touch, light, etc. So here is a classification of different type of movements. We have basically two types of movement: spontaneous movement, or you can call them autonomic movement, and the second one we have induced movement or paratonic movement. Further, spontaneous movements are divided into movement of locomotion and growth and curvature movement, then Turgor movement. These are the types of autonomic movement. And we have different types of induced movement. Basically, there are tropic movement, tactic and nastic movement. We will discuss these movements in detail. The first one, we have autonomic or spontaneous movement. What is the meaning of autonomic or spontaneous movement? These movement takes place spontaneously due to internal stimuli or factors present inherent inside the body, because that factor is present in their genes, in their chromosomes, and they are respond due to internal stimuli. So these type of movements also known as endogenous movement, because their stimuli is internal, and due to that stimuli plant shows different type of movement, just like cyclosis, or you can say that movement of cytoplasm and bending of leaves due to difference in their growth. Second type we have paratonic or induced movement. Indicate that this movement is due to external stimuli which compel them to move. So this type of stimuli also exogenous, because they are caused externally, just like light, gravity, touch, different type of chemicals. So here is the autonomic movement. You can see that the movement of whole body parts or whole plant body or any organ or material within the plant cell which occurs due to response to inherent factors, or they are spontaneous. For example, cyclosis. You can see that here is the cytoplasm, all the times cytoplasm having streaming movement, or cyclosis, just because if the cyclosis will not occur, then the nutrients and other factors will not reach to their destination. So streaming movement in cytoplasm and oscillatory movement of oscillatoria or motility of zoospore also examples of spontaneous movement. So the first one we have growth and curvature movement. What do you mean by growth and curvature movement? Because this is in their growth. So these movements are brought about by due to unequal growth or different size of organs. For example, we have nutation. Nutation is the movement in which you can see that the axis of the stems moves in a zigzag manner. You can observe here, there is the stem and the stem is climbing in a zigzag manner, and it will observe in the tendrils, because tendrils give support, and this type of movements are known as nutation, because the part of the tendril which away from the sport will grow at faster rate. You can see that it is growing in a faster rate as compared to that which is bending or twinning. So around that support, this is nutation or nutational movement. Along with that, we have circumnutation movement. You will observe that circumnutation movement in railway creeper, that it is in a circular movement. It's circular movement. due to the tips of the growing plant or stem, which is repeating or cycles due to difference in their growth. So simple nutation occurs in flat leaves and flowers, but the circumnutation occurs in the creepers. Here's the railway creeper. Its stem tendril or stem is twining around that support. This is called circumnutation, and in 1880 Darwin was thought that circumnutation was autonomous process under the inner control of plant rather than under the external force and movement, which is nastic movement. And this is also difference in the rate of the growth in both or opposite sides of the plant organs, and they are the epinastic movement and hyponastic movement. You can see here is the leaves, and there are two surfaces of leaf, adaxial and abaxial leaf. If there is a more growth in the upper region, just like here, epinastic, then the leaves will expand in this direction. If the growth rate is increases in the lower parts, this type of movement is known as hyponastic movement. So if there is more growth on upper side of the flower, it will open. Such movement is called epinastic. Epi, above side, it is leaf. In the adaxial side, if there is more growth, then the leaf will open. And this epinastic also influenced by the hormone auxin. And if there is a more growth or extreme growth in the lower side, then it is known as hyponastic, and it occurs also due to the hormone gibberellin. So here is another movement, which is Turgor movement. As you know that turgidity or Turgor movement is just because of the increase or decrease in their water or gain or loss of water. So Turgor movement is because of differential modification in Turgor and size of the cell as a result of gain or loss of water. Just like touch me not leaf, they will open and close due to their gain or loss of water. Just like mimosa podica or touch me not is touched, then what will happen, that the potassium ion will move faster and they will left the water due to exosmosis, and then the leaf will shrink. Here is another slide which can show you the mechanism of Turgor movement. Here is this is the leaf of mimosa. When they are touched, because their swollen base, which is known as pulvinus, when it is touched, then that turgor pressure is decreased, and then they will be bended over or stretched because of the gain or loss of water. When the plant or the leaflet or the pulvinus is turgid, it will expanded. When it will shrink or there is a loss of water or it is in flaccid condition, it will shrink or it will droop off. So we have another type of movement which is paratonic or induced movement. So it is also divided into three types: tropic, tactic and nastic movement. The first one we will discuss, the tropic movement. The growth movement which occurs in the response of any external stimuli, or it will be unidirectional because it will show the movement towards that stimuli, or it is directional movement. So we have different types of movement depending on the stimuli. If the stimuli is light, we have phototropism, we have geotropism, we have hydrotropism, chemotropism and thigmotropism. So here is the first movement, which is phototropism. As the name indicate that it will happen due to the light, external source of light, sunlight. You can see that due to the light, stem or shoot, which you can see that the shoot is always moved towards the light because of the Oxygen hormone is also present, which also affect on phototropism movement. The shoot is positively phototropic and negatively geotropic. Here is another type of movement which is geotropism. As the name indicates, that part will move towards the earth. Geo, it means earth, and tropos, to turn. It occurs due to gravity. Roots display positive geotropism while shoot will show negative geotropism. You can see here is the roots which are growing towards the earth while the stem growing towards the light. They are negative geotropic, and root are positive geotropic. Here is another movement which is chemotropism. Due to different type of chemicals, the plant will show the movement, and this type of movement occurs in flowers due to the growth of pollen tube. Just like in fertilization, you can see it is the stamens and here is the carpel, and due to chemicals these stamens are attracted and move towards the ovary for fertilization. This is known as chemotropism. Hydrotropism, as the name indicates, that this movement will due to the source or stimuli of water, and hydrotropism movement is also shown by the roots, not by the stem. So here is the root of pea plant, which is indicating that water, here is a bucket of water, and slowly it's porous pot, and due to its porous nature the roots are attractive towards this water source, and this is because roots always positive hydrotropic and negative to phototropic. Another type of movement which is thigmotropism. Now the thigmo, it means due to touch. You can see these are the leaf tendrils or tendrils. They are twinning around because these are the climbing vines which due to contact with the solid objects they grow towards that object, and this is known as thigmotropism movement. Here is the overview of tropic movement like phototropism, geotropism, chemo, hydro, and thigmotropism. Another type of movement which is tactic movement. Tactic movement or movement of locomotion. It means it is unidirectional but due to external stimuli, and the organism wholeheartedly or completely move towards that source. The first one we have phototactic, because this type of movement occurs in the algae and zoospores. They move towards that light because they have chlorophyll or chloroplast. They will make their food material and they need light, so they are attractive towards the light, and this type of movement is known as phototactic. Here is another type of movement which you have been observed or you have been learned, that chemotactic, in which bryophytes and pteridophytes, in which anthrozoids are moved towards the chemical because the female part or archegonium will excrete out the malic acid. That's why anthrozoid will move towards that chemical, and this is very much necessary for fertilization in bryophytes. Here is another type of movement which is thermotactic movement. It is also unidirectional due to temperature, and the movement of locomotion in response to certain unidirectional stimuli, temperature. Rapid rotational cytoplasmic movement in the leaf of the cinerea, which is algae, and it due to increase in temperature the algae show the movement and will move from extreme sunlight or extreme temperature to the colder or warmer regions. Here is another type of movement which is nastic movement. This is non-directional movement because we don't know the direction. It is due to different type of stimuli, but their direction is not known. The movement can be change in turgor or in turgidity or change in growth depending upon the nature of stimuli. It is nictinastic, thermonastic, chemonastic, seismonastic, hyponastic and photonastic. The first one we will observe the nictinastic. It means sleep movement. You can see different plants which shows the nictinastic movement because they show sleeping movement at night. Here is again you can see that these are at night, there is a sleeping movement in their leaves. So the diurnal or change in day and night movement of leaves or flowers of some species which take up sleeping position at night are called nictinastic. Here's thermonastic. This type of movements are due to change in temperature or intensity of temperature. Just like in tulip and crocus, you can see that tulip flowers need the temperature rise in 0.36 degree and the flower will open. Here's a mirabilis jalpa. At late afternoon, as the temperature drop, they will open, while the tulip flower bloom at mid in the morning as the temperature rises. So this type of movement is known as thermonastic. Here's another movement which is chemonastic. It can be observed in Drosera. You can see that here is the tentacles and there is the chemicals secretions in or gland in these tentacles. These type of movement due to different type of chemicals. Strong chemonastic is observed in peripheral tentacle of sundew leaves which respond to presence of nitrogenous compounds or being bent towards the middle of the leaves, because these type of plants are present in the nitrogen deficient soil, so they need the organisms or they need the living organism like insects to capture. So due to difference in their chemical, they will capture that organism. This type of movement in response to the shock by touch stimuli at the base of the petiole, because it is swollen and pulvinous. It is observed in the touch me not flower. I will show you the video. Here you will observe that when the leaves are touched by any object, they will show the movement like in touch me not or mimosa podica. These leaves are closed, then when we touch them, they will show the movement like here, a single touch. Yes, it will. Yes, here is the movement. When we touch, they will show the movement because of the difference, and this is seismonastic movement. Here is a, when the leaves are touched, here's they will close, all the leaves will close. Yes, like this. This is mimosa podica or touch me not flower. You have observed that when we touch the pulvinous base of that leaf, all leaf will slowly will closed or bend due to difference in their turgidity. Here is the movement hyponastic and thigmonastic, because when an object like insect touch that plant, part is known as thigmo or hyponastic. That movement is due to the touch stimuli, and in the insectivorous plants, like you can see that here's the leaves of Drosera are open. When the flies or any insect will touch these leaves, they will closed. So this type of movement is different than the thigmotropism. In thigmotropism, the object is touched by that plant, and here is an object to touch that plant. There is the opposite terms, thigmotropism and thigmonastic. Here is photonastic, this type of movement in which due to the day and night the plant shows a sleep movement or plant open their leaves. You can observe that here is the flower of the sunflower showing the movement in which the petals are closed because of the light. When the sunlight will be exposed to these petals, they will open just like here. So this type of movement is known as photonastic. So here is the table to differentiate between the tropic and nastic movement. Tropic movement is unidirectional. It means there is a single direction like touch, light, any type of gravity or hydrotropism. While the nastic movement occur due to diffuse stimuli, that stimuli is diffused. So tropic movement, the stimuli act on protoplasm from one direction only, while in a nastic movement the stimuli act on the protoplasm from all sides. So tropic movement in which response is directly related to the direction of the stimuli, while in nastic movement the response has no relation to the direction of the stimuli but with the organs. The organs will show that movement. So these are the movements of curvature kind unilateral growth, and these are the movement of curvature but they are caused by irreversible Turgor change. So tropic movement may be phototropic, thigmotropic, geotropic, while nastic movement is photonastic, thermonastic and seismonastic. For more videos, like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.